Hi, welcome back. This is Jack Wagner with Anthem, and this is the episode number 5 in the rig rundown video series of the synthesizer and MIDI gear that I use. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about this. It's an ActitioN MIDI controller. It's a USB device, and I use it, as you can see, if you can see the labels, primarily two functions. I use it to scroll through a set list for a show. So if we're on a song, the first song, and the song's over with, I can press the button and it goes to the next song. And what that means is it programs all the gear to be ready to play that next song. So when I press the button, it sends MIDI via USB into my laptop, and I'm using MIDI Translator Pro. MIDI Translator Pro accepts and recognizes that event, and it performs all of the functions that's necessary to move to the next song, which include things like opening up Ableton to the correct song. It sends a MIDI message to the JUNO-G to tell it which song to go to, which performance to go to. Each song on the JUNO-G is a separate performance. It also sends system exclusive data to the PK-5A to kind of put it in a baseline mode. In some of the songs, I use the hold function on the mono mode, which means that I basically press the pedal and the note continues to sound until I press another pedal to turn it off. And I have had in the past issues with moving to the next song with the hold pedal on when I didn't want it on. So what I do now, the next button gets sent to the MIDI Translator Pro, and it sets up all the gear. It's ready to go for the next song. So that's the first thing I do with it. Now for rehearsals, I also programmed it to go the previous song. So I can go either forward or reverse through our song list. Now the next thing I use it for is play or stop. So in the play function, what it does, again, it sends a MIDI signal, MIDI message, to my laptop, and the MIDI Translator Pro intercepts it and says, oh, okay, I see you pressed the play button, and it sends a signal to Ableton and tells it to start playing. Now what that means, in some cases, in only a few cases, we have like tempo count-ins. So we're all using in-ears. So when I press play, it does something like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, that we all hear in our ears that the audience doesn't hear, but it establishes the tempo for the song. So it does stuff like that. And there's really only one song where we actually play to a click, and I have more stuff programmed in Ableton, and that's Available Light, because there's a lot of different things happening in that song. So we actually hear the click throughout the whole song, and we got to synchronize to that, and the play button starts it all. So the next thing we have is the stop button. Now, if we ever get to a point where we're out of sync with the song, with the click track, or perhaps sometimes there's just kind of a random MIDI note that happens and it just is playing and I messed up, I hit the stop key and it stops all audio. So it's just kind of a protection mode. So if I get into trouble in a live performance, I can hit stop and it clears everything up. I haven't had to use that yet, but it's there just in case. So that's how I use the ActitioN MIDI controller. And I hope you tune in to the next video in this series.